My name is Rich Harrington, and welcome to this edition of Understanding Adobe Photoshop. Now, when people think of Photoshop, they don't often think of text, but Photoshop does contain a robust text tool that can be used for all sorts of design purposes. It might be to add some placeholder text to a website mockup, or to even do a complete design for something like a CD cover or a poster. Photoshop has robust text controls, and you have full control over formatting, spacing, alignment, all sorts of things. Here's how it works. I'm going to go ahead and press T to select the text tool and D for default colors here. Now, if I want to define an area for the text, I can click and drag, and this is called paragraph text. It means that the text will stay inside of this body. Let's go ahead and type a few words. Notice I have too many words to fit on the page. So I could select those, and up here in the options bar, just drag the point size down. There's hyphenation currently happening. If you don't want that, just open up the panel here, and you'll get character and paragraph. Under paragraph, you have the ability to turn hyphenation off and on as you see fit. There we go. If you want, press return here. You can do that, and it'll pull it down to the next line. Now, here we have two sentences, and I want to tweak things a bit, so I'm going to take advantage of paragraph. We can go ahead and set controls here for things like indenting of the whole text block, or simply choose to indent the first line, like so. If you want to, you can also say automatically put extra space after each paragraph. And so we can have it put a little bit of extra space between that line there, since there was a hard return. Under the character panel, you've got all sorts of options. The ability to change point size, just like you would in just about any type program, plus the ability to set the leading. Remember, leading is the space between lines. Auto is a good default value, but you can tighten or loosen this as you see fit if you have to go ahead and put a little more text on the page. If you need to, you could track the text looser or tighter and change its scale. Now, an important thing to realize is that you often want to kern your text. So if you place the cursor between two letters and hold down the Option or Alt key, you can use the right arrow or left arrow to loosen and tighten individual letter pairs. Kerning is the art of balancing out your text, and it's very common to have to tweak. For example here, if we had the letter T and the letter O, let's make that nice and big to see. The O looks like it needs to tuck under that T just a little bit, and we do it that way, tighten it up. Or we can loosen it up as well. Let's go ahead and make that a little smaller. And change the font, because some fonts are stronger than others with their kerning. Let's go with this instructor font here, and we'll see it pretty well. If I want to adjust the space, I can just hold down the Option key, and notice, pull that looser or tighter. In this case, the O and the E seem a little tight, while the S and the E not as much. And just go through and balance that out optically. That works really well for kerning. It's a necessary step that most designers will do by hand, and there's lots of other options inside the type panels there. If you're doing specific tasks, for example, E equals MC squared, you'll find the ability to do things like scientific notation. There's superscript, or, in this case, subscript, and it drops it down automatically. One of the ones I find most useful is when using things like the copyright symbol, I can go ahead and select that and choose to use superscript and then just pull it down a little bit. That works pretty well. If I need to, I could take advantage of baseline shift. So you'll find that right here, and this is the ability to move it up or down in relation to the baseline, which is the invisible line that all the letters sit upon. So there you go. A lot of cool options. Remember, text inside of Photoshop remains vector, so you can scale that up, and it works great. Now, there's lots more to those controls. Be sure to fully explore the character and the paragraph panel so you can get the professional typesetting done right inside of Photoshop. For Understanding Adobe Photoshop, my name's Rich Harrington, and thanks for joining us.